Welcome to Chinese with Pei. I am Pei 老师, and we're going to do the second of 3 videos where we're going to discuss the final 10 initials of the Juin system. In the last video we discussed ji, qi, and xi, and in this video we're going to discuss zhi, chi, shi, and zhi. They're sounds that don't really exist in the English language, and so they can be a little bit hard to wrap your head around, so to speak. But we're going to see if we can't help that. So let's get started with the Juin and Pinyin. So the first of these sounds is zhi, zhi, which in the Juin is written like that. So down, over, down, down all the way through, and a horizontal bottom. Zhi. And the Pinyin, it's written Z-H. Zhi. So if this is by itself, it's just zhi. And the Pinyin, it's usually, they'll often put an I here, if it is just the sound zhi. And the way these sounds are made, what makes them related is they have what in Chinese is referred to as a juanshe. Juanshe. Juanshe means curled tongue. So you curl your tongue back in your mouth, zhi, zhi, and so it's like you have your teeth and your gums and your palate, zhi, and you're gonna put your tongue kind of right there, zhi, with your other teeth right there. It's a very poorly drawn mouth, I apologize, but I hope that gets the idea across. Zhi, zhi. So, now this is in words like 中国, 中国is China. It has a ZH, 中国. So even when you make that zh sound, you curl your tongue. Zh, 中国. Now this one, its pronunciation changes depending on where you are. If you're in the north, or well, most of the Chinese-speaking world, it's zh. It's that curved zh sound. And when you get to the south, you get to places like Taiwan and Fujian and Guangdong, or Canton, as it's often called, Hong Kong. The further south you get, the less zh you get, and the more z you get. It turns into this kind of z sound, which is similar to another sound that we're going to cover in the next video. So we'll talk about how to pronounce that one in the next video, but be aware that the further south you get, it becomes less of a zh and more of a z. So the next one is chi, chi. So chi in the Juin is written like that. 2 side swooshes and a downward stroke. Chi. Now chi, same, the tongue's curled back. Chi in Pinyin is CH. Quick note on this CH. Some people, like, you'll see a word like, it's often written like this. And a lot of people learning Chinese are they often look at this and go, oh, it's supposed to be Tai Chi. That's not accurate. This is not Pinyin. If you see, actually I can't even use that, but basically this is not Pinyin. This is another romanization called the Wade-Giles romanization, which is no longer in use, really, except for to write stuff that has already entered the English language as a now English word that use the Wade-Giles romanization to get that. So in this situation, this is in fact chi, but that's inaccurate because for Pinyin purposes. For Pinyin purposes, that same word is still written with a T, no apostrophe, so T, Tai, Qi, like we discussed in the last video, qi. But anyway, so this one's shi. So if it's just that ch sound, like ch to eat, then it's chi. If otherwise, the I will drop, and you'll add other vowels later. The same is true for all the initials that we'll cover in this video. For example, words like 非常, uncommonly, 非常, or very, extremely, 非常, 非常好, extremely well, 非常好. So that's 吃. And the next one is 诗. 诗, you come over and down, over and back. 诗. And pinyin is SH. And if it's just that sh sound, then it has that I there. Sh. And this is kind of like the English word sure. Like, are you sure? Sure. Sure. It's made very much the same way as that sound. Sure. Words you'll hear this in are words like shang, top, shang. So again, over and down, over and back. Shi. And this one, so the last one, shi, the further south you get with that one, and it'll start to sound more like a ci. And shi, the further south you go, it'll sound more like a si. And then this is where we get to the really confusing part with Southern Chinese accents, the sound zhi. So zhi is written like this in the Juin, zhi, and like this in the pinyin. And if it's just that zhi sound, then it's ri, zhi. This is meant to look like the Chinese character zhi, which means sun, like the sun in the sky, zhi, or means day. So, zhi. Now, what gets confusing with Southern Chinese accents is this zhi, which is, again, is made by curling the tongue back. The Southern Chinese accent relaxes that tongue, and zhi becomes zi. So, words like this, zhizi. Zhizi. Zhizi means days, like 生活的日子, days of life. Zhizi, you get to southern China, and it'll start to sound like zizi, zizi. And it's just because they relax that tongue more in the south than they do in the north. In the north, it's curled back more. They have what's called a really heavy zhenshe, a really heavy tongue curl. So you have this zhi, zhi. So let's go over these 7 initials that we've covered in the previous video and in this video, real quick as a review. So we have ji, qi, and shi. Then we have zhi, shi, shi, and zhi. It's a very poor zhi, but and zhi. And so, like I said, with these ones, if it's just that zhi, shi, shi, or zhi sound, they'll follow it with an I. It's not meant to be pronounced like the other I that we'll discuss later. This is a very different I. So it's zhi. In fact, it's so different that with the characters we're going to be talking about in this video, the previous video, and the next video, They've actually, in Taiwan, where they use Julian very extensively for education purposes, they've created another symbol for that I, and it's only used in charts to show, like, okay, when this is combined with this, it makes this pinyin symbol. And that symbol is actually an upside down zhi. And this is just a space filler in charts. You'll never see this actually written out, so don't necessarily worry about figuring out how to write it, because you'll probably never use it unless you decide to make your own chart of sounds, which is entirely possible, and you can do that if you want to. But so that's these four: zhi, shi, and shi. Well, I hope this video has been useful, and if it has, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next time on Chinese with Pei.